Surasanam Sangyuga Soundradhe. Sutavacha
Yada Parikshit Guru Jangalevasa
Yada Parikshit Kurujangalevasa
Kalim Pravishtam Nija Chakravartite
Kalim Pravishtam Nijachakravartite
Sham Yavartam Manati Priyam Tata
Vishamyavartam Priyam Tata
Sharasanam Samyuga Shantiradade
Surasanam Samyuga Soundradhe. Sutavacha Sutta Goswami said, Yada, when Parikshit, Maharaj Parikshit, Kuru Jangale, in the capital of Kuru's empire, Avasat was residing. Kalim, the symptom of the age of Kali, Pravishtam, entered. Nija Chakravartate, within his jurisdiction. Visamya, thus hearing, Vartam, news, Anati Priyam, not very palatable. Tata, thereafter, Sarasanam, arrows and bow, Sangyuga, having gotten a chance for, Soundi, martial activities, Adadhe, took up. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sutta Goswami said, while Maharaj Parikshit was residing in the capital of the Kuru Empire, the symptoms of the age of Kali began to infiltrate within the jurisdiction of his state. When he learned about this, he did not think the matter very palatable. This did, however, give him a chance to fight. He took up his bow and arrows and prepared himself for military activities. Purport. The state administration of Maharaj Parikshit was so perfect that he was sitting in his capital peacefully, laid back, no problems, taking it easy. But he got news that the symptoms of the age of Kali had already infiltrated into the jurisdiction of his state, and he did not like this news. What are the symptoms of the age of Kali? They are: 1, illicit connection with women; 2, indulgence in meat eating; 3, intoxication; and 4, taking pleasure in gambling. The age of Kali literally means the age of quarrel, and the above-mentioned 4 symptoms of the human society are the root causes for all kinds of quarrel. It's like illicit connection with women, illicit sex. There's so much fighting. It's like police, whenever they get a domestic call, man and woman, that's the last thing they want to go to. One friend of mine, he was having an argument with his wife, and someone called the police because they were just fighting so much, screaming and shouting. And the police came, and then she was so out of control. She was beating the policeman on the chest. She was beating. Yeah, anger. Yeah, from frustrated lust comes anger. While contemplating the object of the senses, one develops attachment from such attachment, from lust, anger. From anger, delusion of memory. When the memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. When intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. So frustrated lust, anger. And there's so many murders of passion. So many. It's just terrible. And then taking pleasure or indulgence in mediating. Prabhupada said that wars take place because of cow killing. There's always wars. Always because they're killing the cow. It's described that the animals, when they're being killed, the adrenaline is so high, and when people eat meat, they're taking that, and disturbs the whole consciousness. Like a lot of times, I could tell if people are vegetarian, like on book distribution. People are just more peaceful. People that eat a lot of meat, you get to see their consciousness is not good, to say the least. And then intoxication, people just lose it, become bewildered. They take intoxication just so they get loose and do stupid things. And therefore, then, after the next day, it's called a hangover. You heard this before? Hangover. And then they're thinking about things that they did the night before. Oh no, I can't believe I did that. I said that. Oh no. Violence, like in bars, so much violence. And then gambling. Yeah, people get angry. They start kicking. They're called one-armed bandits. Yeah, at the like in Vegas, they have the casinos, and you put some money in there. There's one-armed bandits, they're called, and they lose so much money they start kicking the machine sometimes. They're just so frustrated, And sometimes they defecate right there because they think if I leave, then someone else is going to put money in, and I'm going to lose all my money. So they defecate right there. Madness. Terrible. Krishna consciousness is the only hope. The age of Kali literally means the age of quarrel, and the above mentioned four symptoms in human society are the root cause for all kinds of quarrel. Maharaj Parikshit heard that some of the people of the state had already taken to those symptoms, and he wanted to take immediate steps against such causes of unrest. This means that at least up to the regime of Maharaj Parikshit, such symptoms of public life were practically unknown. And as soon as they were slightly detected, he wanted to root them out. The news was not palatable for him, but in a way it was, because Maharaj Parikshit got a chance to fight. He's a Kshatriya. So when Kshatriyas get an opportunity to fight, come on. Just like in London, there were some riots in London, not just a few years ago, and the police were trying to, because I forgot the reason, but there was a lot of violence and a lot of thievery going on, and the Punjabis, they're the tough guys, They went out, they're out there in the street, and there's a cop car went by. Hey, you don't have to worry about this area here. We got it covered here. They're ready. Big guys usually they would protect the brahmanas, the kshatriyas. They would protect society in general. They were the Punjabis are famous as the kshatriyas. So the Punjabis got, all right, now we get an opportunity to fight. Come on, guys. There was no need to fight with small states because everyone was peacefully under his subordination. But the Kali Yuga miscreants gave his fighting spirit a chance for exhibition. A perfect Kshatriya king is always jubilant as soon as he gets a chance to fight, just as a sportsman is eager when there is a chance for a sporting match. It's like Bhima. Bhima, when they took Draupadi and they were trying to disrobe her. Oh man, can you imagine Bhima there? But he was taking instructions from Yudhishthira. But he was just ready to let loose, But he had to control himself. He was submissive to Yudhishthira. But when he got that chance, when the battle started, he was like, yes, finally. And he killed all the sons of Dhritarashtra. He vowed, actually, to Dhritarashtra, I'm going to kill all your sons. And whenever they were on the battle, whenever one of Dhritarashtra's sons were there, the Pandavas, they wouldn't kill him because they knew that's Bhima's. So he killed every one of them. And then after the war, Dhritarashtra, he's there in the palace still. All his sons, everybody's dead. And he's still getting service from the Pandavas, even though he tried to kill him in so many ways. There's no integrity. And then they were telling, was it Krishna was telling him, this is Yudhishthira, you will go and embrace him. And then this is Nakul, this is Sahadev, this is Arjuna, and embrace. And this is Bhima. And Krishna said, he put a statue there of Bhima and Dhritarashtra. He was strong. Tried to kill him. You can imagine, one person killed all his sons. A perfect Kshatriya king is always jubilant as soon as he gets a chance to fight, just as a sportsman is eager when there's a chance for a sporting. And when there's a war here, though, in America, what does the president do? He goes to Camp David. You know Camp David? He watches it on TV. Get that guy. Putin, same thing. He's got all these guys out there fighting, but he's just watching it on TV. No Kshatriyas now. There's no Kshatriyas. A real Kshatriya, he's like right up there in front. And when the king is dead, that means the war is over. And the king, if he loses, then that means he's dead. That's the only way. Otherwise, he doesn't. There's one instance where a king lost and he went back to the kingdom. And the door was locked. And someone told the queen, the king is back, he wants the door open. My husband is back, but he didn't win? That can't be my husband. They wouldn't open the door. And to be shot in the back, that's like a disgrace, because he's leaving the battle. It's also disgraceful for someone to shoot someone in the back. But for a kshatriya to be shot in the chest, That's the way to leave the body as a kshatriya. And what happens? He either goes to heaven or back to Godhead. It's like Arjuna. He was lamenting that he was going to have to fight with his grandfather, Bhishma. But Krishna said, "Why lament? He's either going to go to heaven, or he's going to win the battle and enjoy the kingdom, and Bhishma probably go back to Godhead. Probably went back to Godhead. He was one of the Mahajans, right? So why lament?" He told Arjuna. Krishna has good arguments. He's sharp, very intelligent. The most intelligent. Vedaham samatityani. He knows everything. Everything in the past, everything that's going to happen, everything in the now, everywhere. I mean, geez, that's pretty bright. Pretty intelligent. That's Krishna, very intelligent. It is no argument that in the age of Kali, such symptoms are predestined. If so, then why was there preparation for fighting out such symptoms? Such arguments are offered by lazy and unfortunate men. In the rainy season, rain is predestined, and yet people take precautions to protect themselves. Similarly, in the age of Kali, the symptoms as above mentioned are sure to infiltrate into social life, but it is the duty of the state to save the citizens from the association of the agents of the age of Kali. But now, because there's no leaders, it's a country for the people, by the people. You gotta take care of yourself. It's crazy. Therefore, practically everybody has guns, and it's really bad, because then you have to be people that are unqualified to have guns, and then all kinds of crazy things happen. Yeah. So the leaders don't know how to protect the people, how to lead the people. So here it's interesting example that we have to prepare ourselves. Just like on book distribution. Prabhupada many times he said it's a battle. It's a war against Maya. And when there's a war, you got to be prepared. Just like before the battle of Kurukshetra, they were in shape, good shape, kshatriyas. Some of them are maharatis. They can fight with thousands. Imagine. But they were in good shape. They had their armor, they had their shield, they had their weapons. They're ready for battle. So we had to be prepared also. This is Kali Yuga. A lot of Maya out there. Too much Maya. So we had to be prepared also. And also on book distribution, we're going out, we're fighting against the elements. Maya is so powerful. We're trying to convince them to take a book and give their hard-earned Lakshmi. So you got to be prepared also. And preparation means good sadhana. Every day we're being, not only on book distribution, every day, Maya is there. So many people come to Krishna consciousness, so many people leave. And why do people leave so much? Because they're not prepared for the Maya onslaught. But if we have good sadhana, good association, and we take the association nicely, then we could overcome the onslaught of Maya. Like imagine if there's, the Battle of Crusade. You got all these warriors, 640 million soldiers. So there's, I think there was more on the Kuru side than the Pandavas. They had more Akshauhini divisions. So imagine, you have millions of soldiers on the side, and then on both sides, and one warrior, he's not prepared. He just goes out there and he's just wearing a gamsha. No shield, no weapon, no, just out there in his gamsha. What hope? He'll be finished in no time. So if we don't have good sadhana, it's like that. We're wearing our gamsha. Maya's gonna come and just knock us right out. So therefore, it's so important to have good sadhana. As Vaiseshika Prabhu said, there was one person asked a question that how is it possible that we're going to overcome Maya? And Vaiseshika Prabhu said, there's a quote, I think Kapila Devi said, we have to hear for a long time. So we have to have patience and determination. Enthusiasm, utsaha, nisthya. Prabhupada said, even if you're not enthusiastic, just act enthusiastic, and you'll become enthusiastic. And he gave the example of just like a car. Back in the old days, he had a car, back when Prabhupada was a businessman. Back in the 30s, practically nobody had. I mean, you had to be rich to have it. Prabhupada had a car, and he had a nephew who would drive it. So back then, all of them were standard. There was no automatic cars. So if you had, for some reason it wouldn't work, and it was called a push start. You push it and you pop the clutch, and then he gave that sound. So he must have had the experience. And then eventually it kicks into gear. And so it's like that. We have to, even if you're not enthusiastic, just act enthusiastic. And with the association of devotees, you also get that enthusiasm. That the enthusiasm rubs off from the association of devotees. So, yeah. So, continuing the purport, Mars Prickett wanted to punish the miscreants indulging in the symptoms of Kali, and thus save the innocent citizens who are pure in habit by culture of religion. And Prabhupada said that. He said, Americans are very nice, innocent, but the leaders are the problem. It's like that all over the world. The people are innocent, but the leaders misleading. They don't know how to lead the people, and therefore there's so much dissatisfaction. But we're very fortunate, and the people on this planet are very fortunate because Krishna Varnam Prasa Krishnam Sangopang Astaparsam Yagya Sankirtana Yajanti Samedas, because Lord Chaitanya came. And it said that the intelligent people in this age of Kali will worship the personality of Godhead, who, although was not blackish, is Krishna himself. And he's come with his very confidential associates, his servants, his companions. So this is Lord Chaitanya. So he's come it's kind of like a handicap. Kali Yuga, it's a very degraded age. So in other ages, it's very difficult. In this age, Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, because it's a degraded age. And just by chanting Hare Krishna, we get purified. And this is the whole goal of the human form of life. And therefore it's stated, Cheto Darpana Marjana, Bhava Mahadevagni Nirvaha. That the holy name of Krishna, this purifies the mirror of the heart. It's like if you look in the mirror and there's a lot of dust, you can't even see your face. Right? But you clean the mirror, then you can see. So there's a lot of dust in the hearts of the Kali Yugites. There's the anger, there's the greed, there's the lust, the envy, all this contamination. So this makes it difficult to see who we are, to see everything clearly. Yomam Vamasamuro Janati Puso Sasaravi Bhajanti Saravi. Krishna says, whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting, he's the knower of everything. One may say, well, how can any of us be the knower of everything? Well, if you think about it, what is it? There's only matter, there's spirit, and there's the controller of both. That's everything. Right? So if we take seriously Christian consciousness, then we'll, without a doubt, we'll know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then we'll know everything. Matter, spirit, and Krishna. That covers everything. It's those three things. It is the duty of the king to give such protection, and Maharaj was perfectly right when he prepared himself to fight. And then when he found that person trying to kill a bull, he's ready to kill him. But then he was smart. He understood, if I don't surrender, he's going to kill me. So he surrendered. And Maharaj, he spared him. And he said, you can only go where there is gold. And what was the other thing? Maybe that was. Oh, the fourth thing. No, but you can only go where there's gold. Yeah. I guess that's wherever there's gold, there's these four things.
I think he complained that the four things are not existing. Yeah. So then he said, "Can you give me another place?" And that's when.
Where there's gold.
Gold.
Okay. So, yeah, Bhagavatam says that gold to a devotee is yellow stool. No one's interested in stool. So a devotee thinks this yellow stool is no value. But what is value is the knowledge. Knowledge of Shastra. This is priceless wisdom. And therefore Prabhupada wanted this very valuable knowledge distributed everywhere. Yeah. And we don't know. Like sometimes devotees say, well, we're distributing so many books, but who's becoming devotees? But we don't know. There's a lot of closet Hare Krishna. Yeah. George Harrison, he was a closet Hare Krishna. Yeah. Actually, Prabhupada, he was with Prabhupada, and he asked Prabhupada, should I just be a brahmachari, join the ashram? And Prabhupada said, no, you do as you're doing. You're making so many devotees by what you're doing. Just compose songs and do as you're doing. So he took that to heart, and he was making so many songs. Yeah. He made a lot of devotees. He made a lot of devotees. People that were just down and out, drugged out, and they'd see that My Sweet Lord, that one song, My Sweet Lord, that made a lot of devotees. Such a beautiful song. There was one time where what was the main Beatle? John Lennon. He was driving down the street, and practically this song was coming on so much on the radio. And then he started thinking, well, there must be a God. Because this song is just going on and on. It just keeps coming on. People love that song. It's such a beautiful classic, My Sweet Lord. So, yeah. So we have to get this knowledge out. The Lord is the most sweet personality in all the creation. Madaram, Madaram, Vapavasudivor. Madaram, Madaram, Vadanam, Madaram. Maruganya Murdu, Smitam Etadaho, Madaram, 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 Madaram. That the form of Krishna is very beautiful. Imagine seeing the form of Krishna. So beautiful. I have a lot of nice pictures when I'm chanting japa. I'm just, I got a slideshow. A lot of nice pictures, beautiful pictures of Krishna. Only people knew how beautiful Krishna is, how beautiful God is. I don't know if I said this before, but maybe. But I was in Houston, or not Houston, just outside of Houston. There's a lot of Christians in Texas, but it's great for book distribution somehow. Also, Parameswar says Texas is the sweetest state. And I could agree with that. So there's a bunch of Christians coming to the table. They're trying to convert me. And one of them said, so can you tell me anything in your book that is better than what we have in the Bible? And I said, yeah, the beauty of God. Our understanding of God is very beautiful. And she said, no, we also have an understanding of the beauty of God. God has fire blazing from his eyes. I said, that's not beautiful. And then there was a girl and a boy. They both thought, yeah, actually, they didn't say anything, but you're right, that's not beautiful. And they walked away. They didn't say anything, they just walked away. So the form of Krishna is very beautiful, but more beautiful than the form is the face. And what is most beautiful in the face is his honey sweet smile. It's just a honey sweet smile. Very beautiful, very attractive. It's described that there's 8 parts of Krishna's body that resemble a lotus flower. You know what they are? Eyes. Feet. Navel. 3 more.
Hands. Ears.
Yeah, you already said the lotus hands.
We said feet.
Lotus feet. Oh yeah, lotus feet, lotus hands. Okay, lotus hands. Yeah. Eyes, so that's 6. Navel, just 1 left. Face. Yeah. And there's 24 and a half that resemble a full moon. I know, you know already, right? You know. Anybody else know? Nobody knows? The nails.
Oh.
That's 20 right there.
Yeah. The full mind.
Yeah, his nails, his fingernails, and his toenails, they all resemble the full moon. They're beautiful. His nails are beautiful. What are the 4 and a half? You know the 4 and a half?
Yes.
All right, what are the 4 and a half?
Face, moon-like face.
Yeah.
And the cheeks.
Yeah.
And the forehead is half moon, half.
Yeah. And then one more.
Smile.
No. Yeah,
The tilak.
yeah, the sandalwood paste. The sandalwood paste. They also look like moon. So very beautiful. Krishna is very attractive, and the more we get close to Krishna, also very attractive. Just like generally old people are not very attractive, but there's tens of thousands of pictures of Prabhupada. So beautiful, beautiful. I remember I was distributing books one time, and I showed a lady the picture of Prabhupada, and she said, "Oh yeah, he's a cutie. He's beautiful because he was so Krishna conscious, bright faced, very beautiful." Any question? Comment? Yes.
So I really like the point that devotee knows everything. When he has trust and faith in Krishna without any doubt, then he can worship Krishna with all his heart.
Yeah.
And he is a knower of everything. So as you explained that devotee knows spirit, matter, and the controller of both. There's nothing more.
Very simple.
Yeah. So I was feeling when we become more Krishna conscious, wherever we go in the world, we see that the material nature is working in a certain way. People try to go different places and have different enjoyment. They want to see different places and maybe feel different pleasure. But for a devotee, it's all those three modes are acting in the same way in every place. My cousin brother, he's elder to me. He went to Singapore with his family, and he was showing me, oh, there's so nice buildings, so nice gardens. In the airport, they have built this some kind of forest, so beautiful. But to me, it's they're just trying to. I don't know. I mean, there's so much beauty outside in the parks. Why don't you? Why do you want to make it in the airport? Why don't you go to the beach? It's just trying to make certain stuff, but they're mixing the same things in a different way. Uh, Old wine in the same, in a different bottle.
Yeah. Old wine in a new bottle.
But it's all it doesn't give pleasure to the senses wherever you go, all over the world. But whenever you come in touch with devotees, Krishna Katha, you can feel at home, peace anywhere. It is so nice.
Yeah, Singapore. I've been to Singapore many times. It's a very small country, so the buildings have to go up because there's very little land, very little greenery. That's why they have the forest in the airport. There's very little greenery in Singapore.
Actually,
But yeah, you go ahead.
I'll just say they don't have enough space for greenery, so they grow plants vertically on the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, you could see the plants growing on the skyscraper buildings. But yeah, there's people are trying to find happiness in an unusual way, but it's stated, Shruti Pratyaksam Aitiyam Anumananstustiyam, that these are the evidences by which we can understand the temporary or illusory pleasures of this world. And the first one is Shruti. Throughout the Vedic literatures, we're getting information that there's no happiness in this world. It's an illusion. It's Maya. So that's the best evidence, is hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the best evidence. Shruti. And then there's Pratyaksham, that means direct perception. But direct perception, sometimes we make mistakes. So that's not as good. But it's also, I've had direct perception that this place is not a nice place. Probably all of us have. It's a place of suffering. There's anxiety. Shruti Pratyaksham Aitiyam, traditional wisdom. We get traditional wisdom from the acharyas, Yamuna Acharya. Yamuna Acharya, he was a king. But before he became a king, he was a brahmachari in the ashram. And he was a good brahmachari. He was a good student. But he was very smart, very intelligent. So somehow, I won't tell the whole story. It's a whole amazing story. So somehow he became a king by his intelligence. And his guru told one disciple, the guru was leaving his body, and the disciple said, "Is there anything I could do?" He said, "Yes. Yamuna, he's become degraded. You go make him a devotee again." So he also is very intelligent, this disciple. So he was able to get into the kingdom, and he told him, "Listen, you've been left a great treasure. Your father has left you a great treasure." I said, "Oh, good. I like treasures. All right. And I'm going to take you to other treasures, but we're just going to go by ourselves, just you and me." He said, "All right." So there's a 3-day trek, and he's just chanting verses. He's just chanting verses. This disciple that was given the mission to make Jamuna. So Jamuna started remembering these verses. He was very intelligent. He used to know a lot of verses, but he was starting to remember. So this devotee was just chanting these verses, and the verses were coming back. And by the time he got to the place where the treasure is, like, wow, some nice verses there. He's remembering, appreciating. And then they got to the temple, and they went before the deities. And he said, "This is the treasure that your guru has left you, the deities, Krishna." So with tears in his eyes, he paid obeisances. And when he left the temple, he renounced the kingdom. He renounced everything. And then he became the great Jamunacharya. He's famous still to this day. Yeah. So, yeah. And he was very licentious, a king, so much sense gratification. But he got the higher taste by the mercy of his godbrother. He got the higher taste, and he gave up all the nonsense. And Prabhupada would quote Jamunacharya quite a bit. There's books by Jamunacharya. He became a great, great acharya. So anything else? Anything online? Is that Sattva there? Nice picture of Sattva there. Young lad. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki